And now, as you can see here on the right side of the screen, it is actually working. So it's created the post. It says, "Hi everyone, this is Proxy posting on behalf of the AI Marketing Navigator. Be sure to check out today's episode." And it's working on the publishing it right now, as you can see as well, right here at the bottom, publishing post. So I am significantly impressed, and there we have it. Our post appears to have gone live. So my first test of Proxy has been successful, and I am super impressed with this tool. I am definitely gonna have to sign up for the pro version. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AI Marketing Navigator. This is your daily compass in the ever-evolving world of AI marketing. Okay, Navigators, we are back today, and this might be one of those episodes that I'm just way too excited to record and share with you the latest in AI, but particularly agentic AI tonight. So first, huge shout out to Marketing Against the Grain for their episode yesterday, where they talked about Proxy. And this is a free browser agent from Convergence AI. Yes, you heard that right, a free browser agent that's pretty similar and very comparable to Operator, the $200 per month browser agent from OpenAI. So check out the link in the show notes for that Marketing Against the Grain episode. They did an awesome comparison / demo of Proxy's browser agent against the Operator agent from OpenAI. I do not have the $200 a month OpenAI subscription yet, but it became a lot easier to resist now that Proxy has released a free browser agent to use. So huge thank you to Convergence AI for the freemium offering. And after hearing about this agent yesterday, I've been itching to try it out and do an episode. And I've only done one test task prior to this recording, and I was super impressed. And we're gonna do a few more tasks here on tonight's episode so you can fully familiarize yourself with Proxy, what it looks like, how to use it, and what it's capable of. And we can do all of that together right here. So what I've done is I've come up with a few tasks, increasing in complexity and difficulty as we go, and we will test out Proxy in tonight's episode to see if it can accomplish those tasks. Hopefully by the end of the episode, we will all have the benefit of having automated some of our daily work right here. Now, before I get into a bit of information about Convergence and about the technical specs of Proxy, I wanted to share a little clip of that earlier testing that I did so you guys don't have to wait any longer to get a glimpse of the tool. So Alex, take it away. And now, as you can see here on the right side of the screen, it is actually working. So it's created the post. It says, "Hi everyone, this is Proxy posting on behalf of the AI Marketing Navigator. Be sure to check out today's episode." And it's working on the publishing it right now, as you can see as well, right here at the bottom, publishing post. So I am significantly impressed, and there we have it. Our post appears to have gone live. So my first test of Proxy has been successful, and I am super impressed with this tool. I am definitely gonna have to sign up for the pro version. Okay, so there is a little taste of what Proxy looks like, how it behaves, and hopefully got an idea of just how smoothly I was able to post that on X after entering in my credentials. Again, I was super impressed, but what we're gonna do tonight is try out 5 additional tasks of increasing difficulty, so stay tuned for that. First, I just wanna do a little bit of background information on Convergence AI, the company and their tool Proxy. So let's dive into that very quickly. Convergence AI is a London-based startup, so another European startup, with Mistral probably being the most well-known and most successful at this point. And much like many of the companies who are focusing on AI automation and agents, their mission is really to free workers and free people from the mundane, day-to-day repetitive tasks that are taking away and detracting from the valuable things that we actually enjoy doing. Enter Proxy, the flagship product for Convergence AI, which was designed as a personalized AI assistant that can navigate the web, take actions on pages, so things like filling out forms or purchasing products, or as we now have seen, posting on social media. Most impressively, it actually employs some long-term memory and continual learning features to improve its behavior and then to better understand how to interact with these websites in the future. So just super incredible how it can actually acquire new skills. And that's the core technology around Proxy that's allowing it to capture new information and adapt during its inference, allowing for that continuous development. So to that point, here's another little AI definition for all of us to learn together, and that is large meta learning models. And that's the type of learning models, meta learning models, that are enabling this long-term memory and this continual learning. Now, we might have to do an entire episode of its own on large meta learning models, but for a quick definition, it's essentially a type of training that utilizes smaller amounts of data to allow models to quickly adapt to new tasks. And this generation of models actually incorporate memory directly into their architecture. they're basically learning how to learn. So the goal is to allow or empower these models with common learning strategies and cognition patterns. And it's particularly useful in training models that are having to do new and increasingly challenging things, just like Proxy, which is capable of literally going beyond the data it was initially trained on and learning further tasks and methodologies, which is just so fascinating to me. So it looks like a pretty technical concept, the large meta learning models. Like I said, it may be worthy of an entire episode of its own, but today we're focusing on Proxy and testing out some of our marketing focused tasks. But before we get into those, just a couple more pieces of information about Proxy and this continued learning feature and some of the other features in addition to this continued learning feature. There's the versatility and adaptability to these new tasks, just like we talked about. And then on the Web Voyager benchmark, which is a benchmark that tests agents' capabilities to perform tasks and use tools on the web, Proxy scored 88, which appears to be the highest percentage score by any agent or web agent currently. Okay, so now we have set our stage. We did our background work on Proxy and Convergence. Let's get to the fun part and check out the tool. First, we'll just take a quick little brief tour of the Proxy interface. Okay, so here we are looking at the Proxy user interface. If you have watched any of our episodes before, or if you are using these LLMs or conversational AI tools, this is likely looking pretty familiar to you. You have your chat history on the side here. You have the option to collapse that and cut here. You have the option to collapse that and add new chats. And then the main portion of our screen, we have a few announcements from Proxy. First, Proxy is seeing lots of love right now. Things might take a moment, but we're scaling up. Thanks for being part of the journey. Now, I was pretty impressed with the performance of our initial test of posting the X posts. So the performance seemed great to me, but that was just the first time I was using it. Then we have a little personalized greeting. Greetings, Alex. Gotta love the personalization there. And the next is this sensitive data disclaimer. Proxy doesn't need to see your sensitive or highly confidential information, e.g. health, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, religion, political opinion, passwords, and access keys. So please don't send Proxy this information. Now, despite saying don't send Proxy this information and asking us not to, it does ask for your password when you need to authenticate things, whether that's your Google password or your X password, as you already saw in my demo. So I did, in fact, provide the password information to Proxy, sorry, but it's clearly possible and necessary in many of these use cases. So I think just be smart about what you're sharing with Proxy. I'm probably not going to be giving it my bank information or passwords, for instance. And to be safe, since I actually use Google's sign-in option for X, I will probably change that Google password. But again, just to be overly cautious. Now, then we have our little text. Then we have our text input area. What online tasks or research would you like Proxy to do for you? And then next is something that I always love to see when we demo or look at these tools, and that is a template marketplace or a template area where you can select existing templates. They have some categories here. One is business, and the examples here are review my Shopify store or a company sentiment analysis. They also have a marketing one where the examples are check news about brand or Twitter and X engagement analysis. They have research and news and sales and development ops and an other category as well. But the best part is they actually have a template marketplace, and you can click on template marketplace there right from your chat, and you will have these feature templates that are curated templates from the Convergence team, but even some community templates here, which are popular, the most popular templates from the communities. So you have these templates to get you started, but I wanted some more marketing focused tasks for us to test out today. Cut here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our first prompt. And again, these are going to be increasingly difficult. Cut here. The first prompt I have here is the following. It says, I run a single employee digital marketing agency that primarily markets to small to medium-sized businesses. I am located in the greater Detroit, Michigan area. Please find me 3 competitors in my area and market that I can do comparative analysis on. So let's go ahead and punch this in and we will see what Proxy does. If you're not watching along on video, it says Proxy is acting, and it's laying out the steps for its task for us right now. Okay, so we have Proxy's view now on the right-hand side of the screen, and right now it's looking for Detroit Digital Marketing Agency, and it's displaying these search results. Okay, so it's found a marketing agency, Karma Jack, this one is called. And on the left side of the screen, it's kind of giving us the steps. It's saying gather competitor details. I'll gather more information from the Karma Jack website to understand their services and their target market. Identify competitors. Let's visit the Karma Jack. Gather competitor details again, saying I'll check the services section on the Karma Jack website to learn more about what they offer. So again, just working through and searching this competitor website right now. Okay, I have jumped ahead and cut ahead a couple times now. For the benefit of you navigators out there, I'd say we're probably about 4 minutes into this task so far right now. Okay, so it's gone to the About Us page on Karma Jack now. It's gone to the home page to explore more details. And now it's going back to the search results to select another competitor for our analysis. So again, I'm going to cut ahead wherever necessary to keep this short and sweet for you guys, or at least valuable. and not have you waiting around while Proxy is doing its reasoning. Definitely try out your free sessions, your free tasks. You get 5 a day, again, if you want to get a better idea of exactly what the real time is like. Okay, so we're back in the search results now, as you can see in Proxy's view here. And Proxy has selected Growth Shark, another one of these top 3 results we have. Okay, so we're on the Growth Shark website. Again, I'm just cutting through some of the pauses here. I would say we're about 5 to 6 minutes into the task total now. I'm gonna go ahead and set a timer so I can be a little more accurate with my task timing for you guys. Okay, so it looks like Proxy is done looking at the Growth Shark website. We're going back to the search results for one more competitor analysis. I did ask for 3 different competitors. So far we have Karma Jack and the Growth Shark, and we're looking for one more. Okay, so we just got our task finished and it only gave me 2 results. So again, I'm super impressed with the tool. I'd probably just prompt it one more time to get one more result. The detail and the actual quality of the results on the competitors here is pretty good. We have like location and services and the focus. And again, we have small to medium sized business, so it did catch that part. Again, just a little quirk in only giving us 2 and not 3, but I'm not going to nitpick on that. What I really love to see here is these options down at the bottom to automate this task or to create a template for this task. So again, focusing on the efficiency increase and the automation possibility. So if we were to click on automate task, you're going to get welcomed into their automation section. It says automation allows you to schedule and run your completed agent tasks automatically. This powerful feature saves time by running your tasks on a recurring schedule. So this takes the tool to the next level for sure, being able to schedule and automate these tasks that you've created. Cut here. Let's go ahead and just take a look into the next section of our automation here. It says choose your start time. Select when you want your automation to begin. This will be the first time your task runs. You can pick any date and time that works for you. Set schedule. It says set your preferred schedule from daily check-ins to specific weekdays. Your task can run as frequently as you need, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. And then stay informed is the last little call out here. It says once your automated task completes each run, we'll send you an email notification with the results. You'll always know the status of your automation. So let's just go ahead and hit get started. And I really do like this user interface. It's pretty simple. It's hopped up right in our chat here to create this automation. It says give the automation a name, select the start date and time, select the recurrence and the time zone, and you can just create that automation. So again, super cool, super user-friendly, really loving this tool so far. But let's go ahead and get into our second test task for Proxy. This one is just a little bit of a internal blog review. I said, visit our company podcast page, thedigitalpop.com podcast. That's kind of what I'm running instead of a blog right now. Although a blog will be coming soon to thedigitalpop.com. Analyze the last 5 posts and create a summary of their content structure, including average word count, number of images, etc. Okay, so let's give this one a run and see what happens. Okay, we fired up and Proxy is acting. So keep an eye on the right side of the screen to see what Proxy is viewing. Our steps are generating right now and starting. We're going to do real time as much as possible, and I'll cut ahead if we have any pauses. But again, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer on this task. Our last task ended up taking about, I would say, 7 to 8 minutes to complete. Again, we asked for 3 competitors. It gave us 2, so it would have been a little bit longer, I think. But here we have our steps for this task going on. And we have identifying the latest posts. Scroll down the page to view more podcast episodes. We have our page here. I just realized that my latest episode is not updated at the top of the page, so I might be a little confused by that. But we are a couple minutes into our task here. I still haven't cut it, and we are on the podcast page, so it had no problem locating our page. And again, it's analyzing individual posts now. If you're watching along on the left-hand side of the screen, it went into yesterday's episode, our daily digest. So it appears to be doing exactly what we asked it to do, and it's having no problems navigating through our site at this point. It says it's collecting the content details and analyzing individual posts. It says go back to the podcast list to select the next episode for analysis. So we asked for 5 episodes. Let's see if it has any issues coming up with 5. Just like it had a little bit of trouble coming up with 3 competitors where it gave us 2. So let's go ahead and continue to watch, and I'll skip ahead if necessary. Okay, just going to cut back in for a little bit of an update. We are on our 3rd episode of reviewing now, so it's still going back and forth, finding each episode and reviewing the content, doing what we asked it to do. We are sitting at about 5 minutes now for our runtime on this task. So I think I will end up cutting ahead to the end of this task to see what the results are. You get the point. It's going back and forth between my podcast page and the individual episodes. So stand by for the results of this test. Okay, cutting in once more. It is now summarizing our findings. It says summarize the findings from the analyzed podcast episodes. So we should be seeing our results here shortly. And we're looking at about 7 to 8 minutes now on our runtime for this task. And I think that's what we're going to end at here. And that's what we're going to end at here, 7 to 8 minutes for this task. This time we have 5 episodes, and it looks like it nailed each one of them here, giving the content structure and the metrics with the word count and the images as well. So 2 for 2 on our tasks so far with Proxy, and I continue to be impressed. Cut here. Let's move on to our next task, which should be a little more difficult. And I think what we'll do is continue our competitor/market analysis tasks. In this instance, maybe we're doing some pricing research or some marketplace research to figure out what offerings we're going to have, what pricing tiers we should use. So what I did is I prompted Proxy with compare pricing pages of 3 leading marketing automation tools, HubSpot, MailChimp, and Salesforce. Cut here. In Salesforce Marketing Cloud, in this case, create a detailed breakdown of their page structure, their value propositions, and pricing tiers, including any special offers or promotional messaging. So again, some competitive analysis, as well as some research on what some leading companies are doing with their page structures and offerings. So let's go ahead and run this one. You know the drill. I will cut through any delays or pauses as this is running, and we'll keep a timer going for the prompt. Keep an eye on the right-hand side of the screen to see what Proxy is seeing. Okay, we have our Proxy view now, and the first search it's doing is HubSpot Pricing Marketing Automation. So looking at the first company that we gave it to use, now we have jumped over to HubSpot's pricing page. On the left-hand side of the screen, we can see that the task is searching HubSpot pricing and reviewing HubSpot pricing. Okay, now we are searching for the MailChimp pricing, and this one is MailChimp Pricing Marketing Automation as far as the search goes. We are just over a minute in our timer here for this prompt so far. And again, we're looking at the MailChimp pricing now. We should be seeing that pricing page come up shortly on the right-hand side of the screen. We'll see if I have to cut here. We'll see if I have to cut ahead or not for you guys once again. Stand by. Okay, here's our pricing page for MailChimp now that Proxy is viewing. Okay, and now we are searching for the Salesforce pricing, and we are 2 minutes and 20 seconds into our task processing time at this point. So still working pretty dang fast, and honestly, faster, I think, than a human would probably be doing this same type of work. Okay, now we're looking at the Marketing Cloud on the Salesforce website and their pricing, and now we are comparing all pricing pages, and we are at 3 minutes and 15 seconds for our processing time. Okay, and there we have it. The total time for this one was like 3 minutes and 45 seconds, so one of the faster ones. And again, super impressed, you guys. We have all the information that we needed or requested here as far as pricing goes between these 3 different tools, and we have an overall comparison that breaks them down as well. I'll just give you a brief little review here. It says HubSpot caters to businesses looking for extensive marketing automation and analytics capabilities, albeit with higher upfront costs. MailChimp is ideal for small to medium businesses focusing on AI enhancements and offers competitive pricing with nonprofit discounts. Salesforce provides a robust solution for large enterprises needing comprehensive customization and scalability options. So nailed it really as far as the as far as the comparison between these tools. And again, you have the pricing information for each of them as well. Okay, it's pretty clear that these relatively standard research tasks that marketers would be doing can be handled very well by Proxy. We're 3 for 3 right now on our tests. So let's switch over to some more execution-based tasks. I think I'm going to have it try and do some creative tasks in Canva and even post or edit a video in YouTube. Cut here. And those will be our final cut here. And those will be our final 2 complex tasks here for our testing tonight. Cut here. Okay, let's go ahead and hit it with our Canva prompt. Cut here. And this should give you an opportunity to see the authentication process when we sign into Canva as well. So my prompt this time is using Canva, create a carousel post for LinkedIn about digital marketing trends in 2025. Design 5 slides, including data visualizations, quotes, and engaging CTAs. Export in both LinkedIn and Instagram formats. So definitely upping the challenge and the complexity of this task for Proxy and upping the practical usefulness of the task as well. So let's go ahead and run this one and see what happens. Okay, so Proxy is acting. I'm going to go ahead and reset our timer so we can time our prompt here. Working on our steps, and we are in the Canva web page. So it's going to need to log in here shortly, I believe. Cut here. Yep, it says the first step is to access the Canva dashboard. I'll click the login button to proceed to the login page on Canva. And it looks like it actually might have tried to sign in with the Google credentials that I already gave it. I don't believe I signed up for Canva with Google, so it's probably going to need the actual username and password from me in this instance. Hopefully it's not going to try and be too smart and continue to try and log in with Google. It looks like it's not going to. It has now switched over to the login page, and it should be asking me shortly here for an email, I would imagine. So I'd be impressed if that's what happens. It actually worked itself around the Google login and said, well, that doesn't work, so let's ask the user for an email. I'm expecting that to happen here shortly, so let's see. Sure enough, the next step here is I'll proceed to log in using the continue with email option. Okay, and here we have continue with email. It's asking for my email, personal or work, which is the sign-in option for Canva. And it should be asking me shortly here in the left-hand side to enter that credential as well. Okay, and here's what it looks like when you get prompted by the Proxy chat to enter in your credentials. It says continue with email. We'll check if you have an account and help create one if you don't. So I'm just going to enter in the Canva email here. Okay, so I've entered in the email. Next, it will obviously or should ask for my password. Okay, and actually we're witnessing it going off on a little bit of a tangent right now, which is totally my fault. I actually mistyped my email, so there was a technical issue with the login, and now the proxy agent is going to look up more information. You just saw the status page for Canva. So hopefully it should realize that we just need to re-enter a different email or a correct email, and it's going to prompt me for that shortly. Unfortunately, it's still looking at the status page and looking for some articles, some support issues to solve the current problem. But now we're finally looking at, I'll return to Canva's main site to try the login process again. So it got there eventually. We are sitting at just under 5 minutes for our prompt time on this one. But again, that's some user error. Okay, and we just got our failure message here. Again, user error on this one. I'm going to try this prompt again, and we'll actually type in our credentials correctly. So stand by while I set this up again. Okay, new prompt. This time when it asks me for my email, I'm actually going to enter it correctly. I'd at least double check it to make sure I do. So stand by. We will get to the login portion of our process here. And I have gone ahead and restarted our timer so we can do a true test of the time that it would take for Proxy to hopefully whip up a LinkedIn carousel or a carousel or a carousel project within Canva. So let's see what happens. Okay, long story for y'all. We just had quite a struggle where it continued to bring up a failed page for Canva. Turns out what I needed to do was clear the cookies on the browser. You can actually go right up here in the upper right-hand corner, and you have settings here, and that's where you can clear the cookies for the browser that's being used. Okay, so now we're being prompted again for the Canva login or sign up. I'm going to go ahead and continue with email. Okay, everybody, unfortunately, I was unable to get the Canva test use case to work. As you can see, if you're watching the video right now on the the right-hand side of the screen in Proxy's view, I continued to hit this loading page, and now I'm seeing a verify if you are human, and for obvious reasons, it appears that Proxy cannot do that. And cut here. Now, there is a setting here where you can actually enter the browser and take control of the browser, and I've tried doing that too, and I'm not seeing the Cloudflare human verification when I do that. So it looks like there's a little quirk in getting into some of these apps and tools, especially if they're requiring some human verification. I'm going to keep trying this for the rest of the evening. I desperately want it to work. I want all of the use cases with this tool to work, so I will let you guys know if we have any luck with the Canva use case. But for now, we are 3 out of 4 on our test use cases. This second to last most difficult one was unable to get completed. So let's try our last one right here and just see if it was a quirk with the Canva side of things. Now, I originally had an even more challenging prompt that actually still involved Canva. I wanted to prompt the tool to create some thumbnails in Canva, then go over into YouTube and create that video and A/B test those thumbnails. So doing a little bit of a pivot and a little bit of an audible here to try and get another use case through our testing. And this is the prompt I'm giving it now. I'm saying log into my YouTube Studio account and using the TubeBuddy extension, set up an A/B test for a title variant on the most recent video. So let's see if we can not only get access to our YouTube Studio, but also use the TubeBuddy extension that I have that I have installed. So let's go ahead and run this and see if we have any better luck. And you know the drill, I will try and cut through any of the pauses or breaks. And meanwhile, I'll be timing our process here for our task. And if you are watching Proxy's view now, you can see that we are about to sign in to YouTube with our Google account. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit these credentials. Cut here. So I'm going to go ahead and submit these credentials, and our password has been entered. So let's see now, we're getting our two-step verification. So it looks like this process is proceeding as expected. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my two-step verification notification here. Stand by, everybody. Okay, that has been accepted. Let's see if it registers in the proxy view. We'll give it a couple seconds here. And again, I'll jump ahead if I need to. And we're hitting a little bit of a delay. Last time I did this two-step verification, I actually needed to tell it, okay, so there we go. I actually had to tell it that I had approved the notification. So a little bit of a bug there, a little bit of a quirk, but as you can see now, we have accessed our YouTube channel. Here's a little peek into the still relatively young channel analytics for anybody who is wondering, but we appear to be moving into our channel content now. So working as expected, I am hoping that we'll see it click on the most recent video, episode 264, and do a A/B test on the title. So here we go. We're into episode 264 now. Now, what I am not seeing in the proxy view is the TubeBuddy extension that should allow it to do the A/B testing on the title. So I think we're going to run into a little bit of a problem here. Sure enough, I am unable to find the TubeBuddy A/B testing setup directly in the current interface. Could you please confirm if the TubeBuddy extension is installed and active, or guide me on how you usually access it for setting up A/B tests? So again, this is the first time we've been testing out the tool. I can confirm that the TubeBuddy extension is active on the YouTube account. It appears that that's maybe one layer too complicated for the proxy agent to handle. So I am going to end our test run there. We are 3 of 5 on our tests. The more simple research-based tasks were definitely easier to pull off for proxy. I am still confident that these more tactical execution tasks are possible. Again, it looks like there's just a couple quirks to work around, but the potential is still there, and I am going to be working on finding many more use cases. And please hit me up in the comments for any ideas or use cases that you would like to test out or that have worked for you when you've been testing out this tool. I would love to hear them. Okay, that does it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the show or found it useful in any way, please do me a favor and follow on Spotify or subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. A review on top of that would be even more appreciated. It is by far the most helpful thing you could do for the show. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you get notified each day when our episode drops. Until then, and as always, thank you for joining me, and remember to stay curious, stay consistent, and keep navigating forward. Bye.